Today, we're going to talk about some fallacies and common tropes that the right wing loves to use as scapegoats for their shitty logic. Our test animal for today's exhibit is Trace. He is a great personification of how not to win an argument. First thing he talks about is real patriotism, which from the other comments you will see will be more like nationalism than patriotism. I define the difference as simple as one who can criticize their country versus one who thinks their country is, and will always be perfect. All right, there's a lot to unpack with this next comment. Let's start with my first generation Latino girlfriend loves Trump. Firstly, you're talking about one Hispanic person. What you see around you is not necessarily what is happening somewhere else. Secondly, we hear that Republicans don't like or play identity politics, yet they will always be the first to use them. They will also use them in a sense to represent a stereotypical argument and place one person into a monolith, which goes back to the idea that one represents all or all of them think alike. The next part says I should listen to podcasts of people who came from dictatorships. so I, a fucking podcast. Apparently, books are too hard anymore, folks. I can't believe he actually said that. Again, back to anecdotes, and not only that, let's talk about uneducated Hispanic people not realizing that they love voting for dictators, because that never happens right. Right. Brainwashing can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. Stalin, Mussolini, Hitler, Hussein, Gaddafi, Zedong, Jong-un, Caesar, Pol Pot, Noriega, Pinochet, and on and on and on. White, Asian, Middle Eastern, Hispanic, every race and culture has been lured and misled by a guy who said he wanted to fix things. And yes, it's always men. Authoritarianism doesn't come with a sword, it comes with a plate of warm cookies and cold milk. And now we get to the favorite tactic of a right winger: deflecting, pivoting, and whataboutism. They keep creating these straw man arguments. No sensible Democrat has argued against deportations. We're arguing about the process in which it's happening. You have people being snatched up by guys with masks, showing no badges and no warrants. That's the issue, you dumb fuck. All right, more anecdotes, blah, blah, blah. Trump is not the real evil. Dude is taking away medical treatment, kicking out military recruits because of transphobia, sending people to El Salvador, bombing Iran for no goddamn reason. Shall I go on? Here's my favorite part. Communism doesn't work in general for how it's set up, and then talks about socialism being a better option. Folks, capitalism has rotted the brain of over 80% of Americans. I was once saying this too because you're programmed to believe that we fought against it and other countries have failed with it, which are all myths. We just have a hard time processing a world without currency and sociological paradigms that have created us into the terrible human beings we are or have become. Next comment is, I was once a Democrat and seen the hatred. No, you've seen the hatred from highly intellectual lefties who are tired and nihilistic of the world we live in. Yes, some of them are insufferable, like the people who bitch about Gaza but have no idea about Sudan, Congo, Afghanistan, and many more. I'm also the type to use foul and not politically correct language, which pisses some lefties off, but you can't fight fascism with pacifism. If you're really making an analogous statement towards how the right feels about homosexuality, women, DEI, and immigrants, then you have no clue what it means to hate.